Mabuhay, Manila. This is Drew from ManilaShaker.com and join me in filling a request to compare the Oppo F1s versus the Sony Xperia XA. Based on our full review of the F1s, it is built from metal meets plastic build reminiscent of an iPhone that forgoes the antenna lines for plastic caps. On the other hand, Sony's contender receives an almost bezel-less treatment, clad in plastic held together by a metal frame. Sizable differences between the two is that the Oppo F1s gains a fingerprint sensor on the home button and backlift capacitive keys. That's missing on the XA, but gains an LED notification light and a dedicated 2-stage camera shutter. Handling the Xperia XA fares better due to the narrower footprint and smaller display over the Oppo F1s that has a 0.5-inch more screen real estate. We're stumped on calling a winner since this will come down to personal preference, so why don't you guys decide for us on this one and vote on which you think looks better at the comment section. Other units output 720p in the display category, giving a minute lead for the Xperia XA in terms of brightness thanks to the X Reality feature. Differences are somewhat apparent for the Gorilla Glass 4 protection for the Oppo F1s against the unknown scratch-resistant glass protecting the Xperia XA. The differences are minimal to none in this round, calling for a tie. The 13-megapixel main shooter for the Xperia XA produces images with good color reproduction and softer sharpness control compared to the Oppo F1s that makes a pale and noisy but brighter version of the same stills. It's the same story in the selfie game as the 8-megapixel front-facing camera of the XA makes us look more human over the considerably bright 16-megapixel snapper of the Oppo F1s. It's the reverse for low-light scenarios, however, as the Oppo F1s will take the lead. Other contenders will max out at 1080p for video recording, giving a slight edge to the camera manufacturer's better processing. It's no question that the Xperia XA will win this round in overall performance, and as per usual, the Oppo F1s will take the bag in the selfie category. Both units will be running with MediaTek 6750 chipset that forks 3GB of RAM for the Oppo F1s over the 2GB for the Xperia XA. Benchmarks and real-world speed tests will tell you that the Oppo F1s has a slight lead thanks to the extra gigabyte of RAM, but it's hardly noticeable in calling for tasks. Both phones will cap at moderate graphics settings for high-intensity games. The Oppo F1s with a larger battery capacity would take the cake in the endurance department, as the 3075 mAh pack will outlast the measly 2300 mAh version of the XA. It will take time to charge both phones, painstakingly long, especially for the F1s. But the F1s will take the bag in this category. Sound reproduction on the Oppo F1s is averagely loud but tinny, compared to the Xperia XA that is underpowered but clear in its own respect. It'll be a tie for this round too. With about 1,000 peso difference, the Xperia XA positions itself at a cheaper standpoint over the 13,000 peso Oppo F1s. It's an overall tie in most categories since the front-facing camera and battery endurance that goes to the F1s. The Xperia XA has really good display, better main camera with accurate colors, and a slightly faster processor. What do you think of this phone now? Hit us up at the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have questions, you can hit me up on Twitter at Inuit. Keep it locked in on ManilaShaker.com. Once again, this has been Drew. Mabuhay, Manila.